Hello and welcome to another episode of SqEngineering Engineering. I'm Sprutis, and if you watched the previous episode, then you know what we're going to do today. If you haven't, then go and watch it. I'm waiting. Okay, so we are going to be installing the new fuel lines, and because we have mounted the hangers that I've 3D printed and shaped out of stainless steel. But that also means that we need to get the fuel filter in place and also the ethanol content sensor. So then all we have left for a complete fuel system is the fuel pump and hanger and fuel tank. So if you saw the few previous episodes, then you know that we have this like almost a 90-degree bend. So I think I'm gonna use a 90-degree hose end into a male adapter, and then maybe try and round the hose. We will see. Because I don't want to over bend them. Even if I'm not over bending it completely in combination with much fuel running through it, pressure, etc., then it might wear out faster than estimated or something like that. We'll see what kind of fittings I have. And also, yesterday when I recorded the previous episode, I told you that I would use my GoPro and have you with me to talk with you, etc., etc. Yeah, I only had 20% left in one of the batteries. I had 3. So that didn't really go so well. And also there were a lot more people here than today. Today it's only me. And I'm still working on that, recording myself while having other people around me. That's that feels a bit odd still, even after 4 years. But yeah, I will get changed, take my sandwich, and bring out my new fuel system. This will be really fun. So yeah, the point of all the camera stuff is that I today have wiped the memory card. I have fully charged batteries, so I will do a better attempt at that today. So let's go. We need to uncover a bit of my Supra first, so that we can crawl under it. If you're wondering, the sheets are washed without fabric softener, and they are to protect the paint, but it won't hold the dust off. So that's why I have the plastic. The plastic will keep the dust away. So let's open the hood. Like so. We are going to install the ethanol content sensor here, and you see the hose from the fuel pressure regulator going straight down. That one will go like a bend to the sensor, and then on this end I will have the return or the outlet from the sensor to go down underneath the car. I think the feed will go basically where you have the steering column, and then up and sort of avoid the servo for the brake, and then connect to where you have the plastic bag. But first we need this box. This is heavy, so hold on. So here we have some of the collected material I have for the fuel system, crankcase ventilation and so on, and then some fabrication stuff, but also the things I need inside the fuel tank. So I will take out the things that I think I need now. Here we have most of the stuff that I need. We have the old fuel filter. I don't need it, but I'm using it as reference for my new fuel filter. And it looks like I could take this one and put it in here, but this is way too nasty. So I guess I will need to manufacture a new one. This one came with the new fuel filter, so maybe just a straight bracket and then this one holding it on, and that should be fine. We have some tools, some crescent wrench for AN fittings. We have some protective magnetic for the vise, don't remember the English word. We have AN8 fittings, we have special fittings and mounting things. We have AN6 fittings, AN6 hose. We have the fuel content sensor and the bracket I made. Not the best looking, but it will work. Here we have some more AN6 hose and AN8. And also the appropriate and correct plier to cut it. I was thinking a bit about how to install the fuel filter, because the hose ends and adapters makes it quite long, especially compared to the stock filter. Well, maybe just the hose end longer, but I was thinking, so here's the car and it goes in the same direction. So this here is the differential, so the feed would go from the fuel tank in here, wrap around and then go like that. Maybe that's not the best way. So another option is to have it with a 90-degree, again in, but tilting the fuel filter a little. So I will need to think a bit about that. But anyway, I will leave enough hose so that I can do, well, whatever option I feel like. And then in the engine bay we have that hose end temporarily installed, and I think that will work fine. So it's 180 degrees. I will crawl underneath and see if it's good. Otherwise I have 150 degree as well. Not sure how much you can see now, but almost straight up. Maybe here is the hose end. I think that will work, but yeah, I don't have to start with that one. So I've mounted the ethanol content sensor on my homemade bracket. So this will go on top of the shield for the steering column. and I think I'm going to be using this 150 degree hose end here, or I think I need to install it before I know what to do. The initial idea was to have 90 degree coming from the pressure regulator going in here and then out here with this 150 degree, just to make it a bit kinder to the hose. But another option would be to have this one here and then this one still here, but it sort of wraps up to go to the pressure regulator. So installing the ethanol content sensor made it quite obvious which hose ends to use. Okay, so here you see the ethanol content sensor, and if we look, well, maybe it's not clear on the video, but the 60 degree bend will go in the connection closest to the firewall, and then the 150 degree down here, so that one will turn up to the pressure regulator. So I actually think I will start in this end with the AN6, and first with this 60 degree bend. So I got a bit sidetracked looking at some other cars, but after that I was a bit productive. So maybe you can see it. There is the 60 degree AN6 going down. I need to do something to get the hose off. It's not touching right now, but there is a possibility. So I will do something to keep it off the steering column or steering shaft. But that's what we have these for. And here you also see the 180 degree hose end going to the fuel rail. I've also replaced the copper washer for the adapter into the rail. So 180 degree and going down. And underneath we have the lines going in my do-it-yourself hangers. It's hanging a bit low here. So I think we have a screw here somewhere. So I could do another one, or I could just take one of these 3D printed parts and have it sort of here or something. It doesn't really need to be connected to the frame rail. I think that would be enough to keep it a bit more tidy. So it continues and continues and continues, and here you see the mount points for the subframe, and here is where I thought about having a 90 degree to male 90 degree, just to follow the lines of the car a bit better. But I think I'm gonna skip that and actually have something above, or kind of just here, slightly forward to the subframe, just to keep it a bit more tidy. The way it's running now, it won't really be a problem. The problem I would have is if I did the 90 degree thingy here, then I wouldn't have enough AN6 line to go all the way, I think. And we continue. Here I haven't finished yet or routing it properly yet, but we move a bit further and here we have the lines coming out. So behind here is where the AN6 return line is. So I will keep it at this length and just put a 90 degree. I had to cut off the AN8 hose just to make it more easy to work with. So I will connect them to the hanger that you see there in the middle of the picture. And let's talk about the fuel filter. I think I know how I want to do it now. So the feed will come here underneath the fuel filter and sort of wrap around and connect here, and then this will go out to the AN8 line you saw. By doing this I will be able to tuck the fuel filter up around the frame rail, just like the stock position is, and I will also be able to center the filter between the mounting holes, so I will have a slightly better situation with the bracket. Also another thing, the bulkhead fittings that I will be using for the fuel pump hanger, they have hose ends, and so I think I will join them and then I can add some pressure and have it in a box of water and see if my hose ends are correctly installed, so I don't need to get fuel everywhere. So I'm tired, but we actually made a lot of progress. We avoided some pitfalls and so on, so that's good. Let's continue this in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe. Stay safe, take care, bye bye.